Oliver is a little green teenager that works on the Northwestern Railway and works in the Little Western with his friend Duck and their friends Don and Douglas and his trusty brake van Toad. Oliver enjoys working in the Little Western, pulling passengers and goods trains from time to time, but over the years he started to get bored working on the Little West End. One day Oliver was resting in the shed when Sir Topham had arrived. "Oliver, I need you to go and work at the China Quay Quarry to help Boko out with the extra work, as Bill and Ben are at the works having an overhauler."
"Right your way, sir."
Boko was resting in the yard when he heard a familiar whistle. "Hello, Oliver. Good to see you're here."
"Oh, nice to be of a service, Boko. So where can I start?"
"Oh, you can start by shunting those trucks over there for me. They need to go to Wellsworth. They need to go to the mainland tonight."
The more work, the better."
So Oliver got to work. The more trucks he shunted, the more dustier he became. That afternoon, the sun was rising down. Oliver had shunted all the trucks in their line. Toy was shunted the back of the train by Boko, and Oliver coupled up to the front. "Take care," said Boko. "Be careful what happened on the main line. I heard there's a lot of hijacking going on with engines at the moment."
"Oh, don't worry, Boko, I'll be fine."
Unfortunately, Boko's predictions were right, as Oliver set off into the distance as the sun set down into the depths of the darkness. At last, they reached the mainland, and Toy was uncoupled from behind, and Oliver shunted the trucks into the siding so the engine would come along to pick them up. At last, Oliver coupled himself to Toad, and they set off into the distance. On their way home, unfortunately, unaware to the two, they were switched on to the wrong line. Instead of heading back to Sodor, they were heading into a different direction. Oliver's driver had to stop. "Face it," said the driver to the phone. "We're lost."
"Oh, bother! We're gonna be late. Getting back. Douglas will steal my part of the shed,"
said Oliver, annoyed. "I'll just go and check outside if there's another shortcut to get back to Sodor." Oliver's phone looked around. He even saw a little riverbank. "Ah!" he screamed as he ran back into Oliver's cab. "Good grief," said Oliver's driver. "What on earth did you see?" "It's like you saw it, guys." "I did! I saw something floating on the river."
"Oh, stop it,"
said Oliver.
"You're seeing things. Well, let's just get out of here or find shelter somewhere, can we?"
So they did. At last they arrived at a factory. Unaware to Oliver, it wasn't a safe place for a steam engine. Oliver looked around. He could see a bunch of old wrecked up wagons torn apart and scrap rusty models of cars, trucks, vans, and diesels and other steam engines there. "Oh my goodness!" cried the driver. "We're in the scrapyard!"
"Oh no, not the scrapyard!"
said Oliver, as bad memories came back into Oliver's head about the times when he had struggled to escape from scrap. meant 50 years ago. Don't worry, said Oliver's driver. We'll quickly go and telephone for help. Just stay there.
That's all we can do, driver.
As Oliver's drone phone set off to telephone for help, Oliver and Toad were left alone. Oliver and Toad did not like this one bit, as both of them felt scared, as it only brought bad memories back. Suddenly, out of nowhere, two men boarded Oliver's cab. Got you this time, Oliver, they said, as they took off Oliver's brake. They brought Oliver into the wrecking yard. Bye, Oliver, they said as they stepped out of Oliver's cab. Oliver and Toad looked up in shock. There in front of them was a giant claw, and it was heading straight down towards them.
This brake van and engine are not for scrap!
Oliver and Toad shut their eyes, preparing for the worst, but then suddenly the claw had stopped. Then they looked up, and up there stood Sir Topham Hatt with Oliver's drone phone. Yes, indeed, Oliver. I heard you're in trouble, and don't worry. I made it into the nick of time with the help of Harold. We saw those two men, and I've already got the police on them straight away. Next time, try to be more careful in the future, and try to listen to your friend's advice next time. Please be more aware, Oliver.
Thank you, sir. You really did save my life. I'll try to be more careful in the future.
When the sun was rising up, as Oliver and Toad sat back to Sodor, as the sun rose up, Oliver could smell the flowers on Sodor and go,
Yes, Toad, there is no place like home.